guys, please help me welcome Haiti's entrepreneur to the stage, please, over there.
Thank you. Wow, I think that's the best intro I've ever received before. I'm like, who's that? Good morning, everybody. How are you? Are you ready to monetize? Turn to your neighbor and say, I'm ready to monetize. Today we are going to learn about how we can generate multiple streams of income. This is such an important conversation. I'm passionate about it. I hope you can tell. I'm very, very excited. You want to take out your notebooks, you want to take out your pen, you want to take out your notes app, you want to record on your phone, whatever tickles your fancy. But you need to get this information. I need it to soak within the depths of your esophagus because it's important. It's important for us to have these conversations. It's important for us to have these conversations within our communities. And the reason for that is because I don't know about you, but I didn't grow up hearing about multiple streams of income. Did you? No. We were told to go to school, which is a good thing. You get your degree or your certificate, fantastic. And then you do what? You get one job, one salary. Or one business, one salary. I come from rooms like this, like Papa said. We met at the University of Pretoria. When I walked out of the gate of the university, I was degreed. But I didn't know how to use that degree to generate multiple revenue streams. So in my mind, it means the only way to make money is to find an employer. But now, thanks to workshops like this, social media, access to knowledge and information, we now have an opportunity to know better, and when we know better, we do better. Which means that we can also go back home and share that information with our family members, our spouse, our children, our neighbors, and then our community can grow. Are we together? All right, fantastic. So generating multiple streams of income is important. I cannot stress it enough. I think if there's anything COVID has taught us, or when you are just going through life and the rug is just swept under your feet, you realize, oh my goodness, this one thing that I have been relying on for so long is actually unpredictable. None of us can predict if you're going to get retrenched. None of us can predict if your business is going to close down. Papa shared with you, we were living the dream. We had multiple stores, we had a factory, we had staff, money was coming in. Both of us had left our corporate jobs. It never occurred to us that something like COVID would come. It never occurred to us that we would close retail stores. It never occurred to us that we would have to sit down and have a conversation with staff members that we started the business with before we even had one shop, and to say, I'm sorry, but we have to close the business. That never ever occurred to us. We don't plan to get sick. We don't plan for loved ones to pass away and for us to be stricken by grief. We don't plan for any of those things. So what multiple streams of income does for us is it gives us a little bit of a security blanket. If one thing doesn't work, you've got something else to fall back on. Are we together? So generating multiple streams of income is important. All of us have heard this. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Now, I'm not sure about you, but when I heard that, I thought, what a privilege. Must be nice. I can't have 7 different businesses, 7 sets of capital, 7 sets of staff. Where am I going to get the money, the energy, and the resources to fund all of that? It sounds like such an elite and privileged thing to have. But how do we bring it back down to the ground? How do we bring it back down to our own level that we can make it work for us? That's what I want us to talk about today. How do we generate multiple streams of income if you are a startup? If you are operating from the spare bedroom of your house? If you are selling your products and services from the boot of your car? How do we generate multiple streams of income from that? That is the conversation that we're having today. Whether you've got a product business, a service business, a knowledge business, whether you're an influencer or a content creator or a consultant, all of us can generate multiple streams of income. All right. And the way in which we are going to look to do that is, instead of having 7 different businesses in 7 different industries that require 7 different sets of skills, is to say, how do I take my one business that I already have, braiding hair, doing makeup, farming, technology, ICT, whatever it is that you do, and generate multiple streams of income from my one business? Are we together? Excellent. So that's what we're going to do. Now, there are different types of income that your business can generate. It can either generate an active income or a passive income. All right. So an active income is what most of us start with. An active income requires you to be there in your business. You need to be physically there in order for your business to run, in order for stock to be produced, in order for deliveries to be made, in order for people's makeup to be done. You need to physically be there. The business cannot run without you. So most of us in our businesses are generating an active income, even in our jobs. If you don't go to work for 3 months, do you think they'll still continue to pay you? No, they're not. So it requires you to physically be there. Then the other type of income is your passive income. Now, your passive income is the type of income that you make without you physically being there. So you might need to put in the work in the beginning. You might need to put in the systems, the processes, the automation, all of that. But once it is up and running, it should be able to run without you. So when we are looking at multiple streams of income, you want to look at a combination of active and passive income. Passive income is going to open up your time. It's going to free up your time for you to spend more time with your children, for you to do more things that you enjoy and excite you. Now, the reason this is important is because the reason why many of us don't seek multiple streams of income is because we are already tired. We are already tired. Our business is stressing us. We're not even sleeping at night. Now I must still come and add. Right? So a passive income is lovely because that is the type of income that you make in your sleep. And that is what the rich have learned. How do I invest in something that pays me when I'm on holiday? How do I invest in something that pays me when I am sleeping? And I'm not talking about some kind of get-rich-quick scheme, all right? Everything that you do in monetization requires work. Unfortunately, it really does, and it will never ever be overnight. But if you take the time and the energy to plow into it, then it should be able to reward you handsomely. All right. So I'm going to start off with a case study, and as I go through this case study, and this is of an actual client of ours, I want you to start to think, how does this apply to my business? How does this apply to my business? And as I'm going through the different points of how we were able to assist our client to develop multiple streams of income, I now want you to start thinking of the questions you want to ask. We've got the roaming mic. If if I talk on a particular subject and you want me to go deeper, raise your hand. Let's talk, let's unpack, all right? Because this is your session. It's not a time for you to just sit back and relax and just listen to me. If you have a question, raise your hand and say, I hear what you're saying, but I'm running a pig farm. How does that work for me? Let's unpack it, okay? So our client is a transformation coach. So at first I was like, okay, what's that? I know a business coach, I know all these other kinds of coaches, and she said, well, my job is to actually help people to transform their lives where they're stuck, whether it's in their career, whether it's in their marriage, whether it's in parenting. I said, okay, fantastic. So what's the problem? She said, Hetty, I've got a successful business. I love what I do, but I'm tired. I don't have any time. From morning to night, I am busy with one-on-one clients through coaching. How do I generate multiple income streams so that I don't have to work as hard with my coaching clients? So the first step is that she has one revenue stream, which is what most of us have, right, in our business. So the first thing you want to start thinking about is, where am I leaving money on the table? Sometimes before we want to start something new and diversify to something new, we have not even dug deeper into the thing that we are doing right now. Are we still together? So it's important for us to look and say, okay, with this current business, how do I generate more revenue? So I said to her, okay, fine. Let's begin to unpack and look at the spaces and the areas that you are leaving money on the table, just from what you are already doing. We're not adding anything new. I'm not saying go and get a new degree and go and learn something new. From the current knowledge that you already have, how do we generate more revenue for you? Number one, you're doing one-on-one coaching. So that's good. But it means that your time is limited. So if you're charging $1,500 per hour for your one-on-one coaching client, in that hour you are making $1,500, but you cannot do anything else in that hour, right? You can't exercise any other activity that's going to bring you more revenue. So the second thing I said to her is, take that knowledge and information that you are using in your one-on-one coaching, especially the information that you find yourself continuously repeating, and let us put it into group coaching. What does that do? It means in that same hour, instead of speaking to one person, you can now have a Zoom session with 20 people, 40 people, 80 people, 100 people. The limit is up to you, to be quite honest, because there is no limit. So with the group coaching, you will charge less, because one-on-one, you will always charge a premium for people to access you directly. But what are we working on? We are working on economies of scale. So instead of having 1,500 Rand for that hour, you can have 100 people paying you 500 Rand. Are we together? That 1 hour therefore frees up your time to do other things. Because it means where you would have needed to do maybe 5 hours of one-on-one coaching in a day, you can now do group coaching for an hour and you make up that money. Has her knowledge changed? Has the platform that she's coaching changed? Is it still the same hour? Has her revenue changed? That is how multiple streams of income works. You take what you already know, the knowledge that you have, and you find a way to let it better work for you. One of the things I hope that you get out of today's session is understanding the value of your time. Understanding the value of your time. The day you are able to sit down and calculate, how much is my time worth per day? How much is my time worth per hour? Per 30 minutes? Per minute? I promise you, you'll never work free again. You'll never work free again. Because all of a sudden, you're going to see yourself as a valuable resource and commodity. All right. So that was one of the things that we introduced. It completely transformed her business. Also, it made her more accessible to people who really wanted to be able to work with her, but could not afford the 1,500. And because she was working on economies of scale, she did not begrudge the group sessions because she was being remunerated well for her time. That is one thing. The next thing that I said that she should do is now begin to package her products into evergreen products. Who knows what an evergreen product is? We've got a hand over there. Where's our roaming mic? Evergreen product. Can you tell us what an evergreen product is?
Good morning. Oh yeah, it's still morning. Good morning, everyone. So an evergreen product is a product that you can sell all year round, and you can sell to different markets as well. So that's what an evergreen product is about.
Excellent, well done. I couldn't have said it better myself. Let's give her a round of applause. Evergreen products are absolutely fantastic and I love them. So an evergreen product is a product that you make once. It could be a course, it could be a masterclass, it could be articles, it could be templates, it could be funnels, it can literally be anything. Now the beauty with an evergreen product is you do it once, you put in the work, you do put in the effort, but once it goes live, it should be able to pay you forever. You need to put the necessary funnels in place. Now the cost of an evergreen product is number one, of course, your time to create the product, and number two, the investment into ads. As she rightfully said, it can go to any market. You can be sitting here in Mamelodi and you can create an evergreen product that somebody in New York buys. So let's unpack a little bit of what an evergreen product is. All right. So in our client's case, she had all of this information on mindful parenting, on how to get out of a relationship or a marriage that is stuck, so that you can improve the communication in your relationship. And then also how to be fulfilled in your career and your business. I said to her, package this into evergreen courses. So what she did is she took the information and put it into modules. There were 8 modules. So she put it into modules and she recorded the content on Zoom. Do you think all of you can record something on Zoom? Do you think all of you can navigate that? Great, because if you feel that you can, it means you can create an evergreen product. I'm trying to show you how easy it is. I'm not talking about going to the moon. I'm talking about using your phone. I'm talking about using your laptop. I'm talking about using what you already have now. All right. So she literally recorded the content. For her, she also wanted to have like little workbooks and things like that. She did that, put it in PDF format. So once she did that, we uploaded it onto a teaching platform. There are all kinds of teaching platforms. There's Teachable, there's ConvertKit, there's Kartra, there are all of these. Some people even use Google Drive. You can save it onto Google Drive. That's absolutely free. And then you just restrict the access to the people that have paid. You can do that as well. So don't think you have to go super fancy, all right? So you upload it onto there, and the next thing we did is we started to create ads. Are you looking to be more of a mindful parent? Are you struggling with your kids with ABC? Well, this is what we are offering. And then we start to say, what is the market that we want to buy this product? Is it locally in South Africa? Is it across the continent? Do we want people to be able to buy in the UK, in the US, etc.? Please do not limit your mind to thinking only somebody in Mamelodi, in Pretoria, in Gauteng, in South Africa can buy your product. You'll be shocked. You will put your product at 5,000 Rand. Somebody in the US, it's dirt cheap. Because in their market, it's 20,000. Those of you who are coaches, those of you who are consultants, those of you like myself who are knowledgepreneurs, I tell you, the market is ripe for you. You're just too busy wondering, eish, bazothini. Whilst you're saying bazothini, aboheti bayangena. So you must allow yourself and give yourself the permission to try it and see how it works for you. And that's what we did. So the beauty of this is that now the ads were running and people were beginning to buy her course. Some of them would buy the full course, some of them would buy per module based on what was of interest to them. One of the things that we are not taught growing up is that our knowledge can pay us. Our knowledge can pay us. Later on in our fireside chat, when we chat to Yolanda, who is a baker, you might think to yourself, oh, I'm a baker, I just know how to bake cakes, I know how to make cupcakes, I know how to make all of these things. Do you know that there's somebody out there who wants to start a baking business that doesn't know how? And you have got the knowledge to teach them how to do that? But instead, what are we doing? We are saying, oh no, they're competition. No! They're not competition, they're your next client. But your eyes are closed because you are seeing them as competition. So the knowledge that you have of what you are already doing can pay you. This is very important. The next thing that we did for her was to create various digital products. What I love about digital products is that they're cheap and cheerful to make. I remember my own first digital product was a masterclass. I was teaching people how to use WhatsApp for business to make money. Because we've done that for so many years in our business. And I see people using WhatsApp for business, but they're not making money. So we did a masterclass. People paid for the masterclass, they came in. All that masterclass cost me was a subscription to Zoom and my knowledge. That's it. So the beauty with digital products is the return on your profit. You can literally make 100% profit. So if someone gives you 200 Rand, you're not taking out 50 Rand to pay this one and 10 Rand to pay that one. It's a full 200 Rand for yourself. A digital product is a product that lives online. So for example, this is a physical product. I can feel it, I can touch it. A digital product, you cannot feel it, you cannot touch it, it's housed online. Therefore, it costs you less. If you've got an ebook, you're not paying publishers, you're not paying printing costs, but you can charge the same amount and they access it online. Are we together? So through that, she was able to do things like webinars, she was able to do masterclasses, she was able to do challenges, she was able to do memberships and subscriptions. These are all digital products. Templates. Some of you are really good at creating business proposals. You can create a template and sell it to entrepreneurs. All they need to do is buy the template, download it, and put in their content and information. You do it once, but it pays you many times over. So digital products are absolutely fantastic in that particular sense. And then of course, if you want, you can have a physical product, right? You can have a book. You can have merchandise. The knowledge that you've accumulated or the knowledge that you want to share with your audience, you can package it into a book. In the midst of doing all of these different things I've spoken to you about, you would have noticed that I've got a book there on the table as well. You do it once, and it pays you over and over again. The only cost to you thereafter is ensuring that you've got a system to dispatch it when people buy it from you. So when we look at your business, it's important to start to ask yourself, where am I leaving money on the table? Where am I leaving money on the table? Where can I dig deeper to make more money in this business before I give up and say it's not working? Where can I be able to do that? The next thing that we did for her, and remember, when we talk about these different streams of income, they can all run concurrently together, or they can have seasons. So for example, she would host a retreat once a year. Her community would come together and they would go on a transformation retreat. That's once a year. It brings in a bulk revenue for that particular period. She knows that her evergreen products are continuously running in the background. She takes a few one-on-one clients and then she will do her group coaching once a week. So it doesn't mean that every single thing needs 100% of your attention every time. But what it does is it gives you a fallback plan if life happens. And if one thing life is going to do, it's going to life, right? So that is the amazing thing with this. The other thing that I have found as entrepreneurs we often overlook is our ability to make money through speaking. Our ability to make money through speaking. A lot of us think that in order to speak on a stage or to people or on media or any other platform, we need to be this super well-trained, public speaker of these people that we see and admire. But the interesting thing is that as entrepreneurs, every single one of us has got a unique story to tell of how our business started, the challenges we've gone through in our business, the successes that we have endured, and tips to give other entrepreneurs. If I gave you a mic now, any one of you, I'm sure you can tell us the story of your business. That is something that is unique to you. Nobody can take that away from you. And you can monetize that. You can use your voice to invoice. You can use your voice to invoice. And what are you sharing? You are sharing the knowledge that you know in your business. So that is something that's amazing. And then of course you will utilize the online space to build community, to share more, to bring awareness. There's so many people now who've got podcasts, have you noticed? Podcasts are trending. You can go on there and talk about farming. You can have a farming podcast. You can have a marriage podcast. You can have a personal care podcast. And on there, you are able to host guests. You're able to showcase your knowledge. And there are brands that would be willing, because of the platform that you have built, to advertise and utilize your platform to be able to reach more audiences. So I need us to really begin to start thinking out of the box. So when it comes to building multiple revenue streams, and I hope this case study has helped a little bit to show how one person can take the knowledge, the information, the product or service that they have and generate multiple ways of being able to get paid. The other benefit of having multiple streams of income is that you are able to attract clients with different price points. You are able to attract clients with different price points. So you might find that a one-on-one client will be your most expensive client, maybe at 1.5, then for an hour. Then you've got group coaching, which is 500 Rand. Then you've got your book, which is 250. Then you've got your event, which is, 450, for example, for a half day. So can you see that with the different products that you've got available, you are able to service different clients who are at different stages of their journey. And by so doing, you are not chasing anybody away. Are we together? Now, I know I've said an absolute mouthful, and I suspect that we might have some questions. So if we do have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand so that we can be able to answer them. I'm hoping that you began to start asking yourself, how can I apply this into my own business so that you can begin to generate multiple revenue streams? Okay, so we've got a question there. The roaming mic is coming to you.
Hi, my name is Nino. And yeah, you spoke about evergreen products. I wanted to know if would it be able to apply with regards to selling physical products? Is there a way to incorporate that into like physical products?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the examples I would give is, you know, Papa was telling you about our retail business. That was a physical product business, selling clothing. It was a physical product. People had to buy the product, and obviously they would wear it. And when I look at the evergreen space, we would often get people asking, how do we source fabric? How did you grow your business? How did you get clients? How did you grow the business through marketing on social media? How did you figure out your pricing? How did you get into malls? Now, when you find yourself answering those questions over and over and over again, that is an indication to you that there is a market of people that are searching for those answers. And these are answers that you have, right? Some of you have got product business, you're doing body butters, sunglasses, all kinds of stuff. You can take that knowledge and information, you can package it, and you can sell it. Am I making sense? So those are things that you're able to do. Even with a product-based business, maybe you've learned how to create templates, to create labels for the product. You can sell those templates. People personalize it, they print it, they've got their professional labels. You're able to do that. So what is interesting is, as we go about running our businesses, there are actually skills that we are learning along the way. And we don't realize that we are learning and applying these skills because it's us. We always take whatever we do lightly. But if you really sit down and think about it, maybe you are really good at sending out emails and proposals to potential sponsors, clients, corporates. You can actually sell those email scripts to somebody to edit, and then they are able to send them out themselves. So you take that information, you package it, and then you create it as an evergreen product. Does it make sense? Okay, great. I think we've got another hand up this side. Oh, okay, let's start there, then we'll come this way.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi.
I just wanted to ask, in terms of buying time, we are manufacturing handmade product. So I just wanted to know, in terms of buying time, because it takes time to create a garment. So how do one specialize in buying time in terms of that? Thank you.
What type of product? What type of garment is it?
We do crochet handbags and jerseys.
Okay, you do crochet handbags and jerseys. Okay, great stuff. Have you found a market for people who are interested in doing crochet handbags and jerseys? Okay, so in terms of buying time, instead of, you can literally teach people how to do their own business through that. You know what's actually interesting? I recently discovered this. I received an email of a group, a crocheting group that meets, I don't know, I think they meet once a month or so. Groups like that would benefit from learning how to do new things in their groups. So what you want to do is to say, my time currently, the majority of it is spent making these crochet handbags. So what I'm going to do when it comes to generating multiple revenue streams is not to now do something else that's going to take another 80% of my time. What is the information that I have with this one area that I can take a small piece of that and then package it in a way that does not require my physical presence? Does that make sense? Another way you can do it is even through training others to go and teach other people as well. Another way you can do it is through having crochet lessons and workshops. Maybe you do it once a month or once a quarter. It takes one day of your time, but then you've got a bulk revenue that comes in on that particular day. Does that make sense? So that is how you can take the knowledge you have now of making those crochet bags and generate another revenue stream. Okay, awesome. I think this side we had some questions.
Hi Hetty, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Sorry, I just had to get the camera right.
That's fine.
My name is Symphony Jacobs, Managing Director at the IF Symphony. Okay. So we specialize in making businesses famous through marketing.
Okay.
2 questions. How do I get you on my podcast? I want to monetize that opportunity. And then how do I know the value of my time? And when do I know when to scale or when to actually increase the value of my time in my journey?
Okay. So there is a calculation. Okay, first of all, with your podcast, just pop an email. Pop an email, I'm sure we can make it happen. It's info@monetizeyourbusiness.co.za. Okay. info@monetizeyourbusiness.co.za. Now, in terms of calculating the value of your time, it works in different ways. I'm going to give you a very simplistic calculation that you can make. But obviously take into consideration your own personal circumstance and nuances, etc. So one of the things that I did was, first of all, I sat down and I said, how many hours do I want to work in a week? Now, let's be realistic. All of us want to work 2 hours, right? We know that, but let's be realistic. How many hours does my business actually need of me in a week? So let's say, for example, 7 hours per day. Great, perfect. So you're going to take 7 hours per day, and maybe you are working a 5-day week or a 6-day week. You're going to multiply that 7 hours per day by 5 or by 6, depending on the number of days that you work in the week. So based on that particular number, you are able to then look at what the value and the cost of your time is per hour. So if somebody invites you and says, please come and speak at my event, for example, I don't have much budget, and you look and say, well, my effective hourly rate for my time is, let's say, 2,000 Rand. So if that person wants to book you for less than 2,000 Rand, it means that they are not covering your effective hourly rate. That means that by going to that event, you spend an hour to drive there, then you spend an hour speaking, and then of course there might be other things that you do while you're there, and then an hour to go back home. So let's say hypothetically you've lost 3 hours. That is the cost to you. So it means that it's actually costing you to speak on that particular platform. Now, sometimes you are able to do certain things pro bono because you are now calculating who's in the audience, you are calculating what can I cross-sell. Maybe you're speaking on a platform, but you're promoting your book, and therefore you can make book sales. That's why I'm saying always weigh up the entire picture. But by having your effective hourly rate, you are able to go back and say to them, I would love to speak on your platform, but I need at least 2,000 Rands to cover my costs for that hour. And you can comfortably say that because now you know the value of your time for 1 hour. Am I making sense? All right, excellent. Okay.
Hello everyone.
Hi, hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. I just wanted to ask that, how do you reconcile the fact that an entrepreneur should have multiple streams of income, but at the same time, not falling into the trap of being a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Yeah.
Because of maybe some of the things, in order for you to be really good at, you have to focus on them monomaniacally. So yeah, how do you harmonize the two?
Yeah. No, that's a very good question. And you know what? It's also a trap that a lot of us can actually fall into. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that when you are diversifying your income streams, it needs to be in your area of expertise. So you're not going out to learn something new, because that's going to be very distracting. Unless you are intentionally saying, I'm transitioning into a new industry or field, then that's fine. The next thing you need to be able to do is you need to sit down and prioritize as entrepreneurs. And I see this all the time. I'll be sitting in a consultation with someone, Hetty, I want to do this and this and this and this and this. I'm like, that's great. You want to do all those things. You can't do them all at once. So you need to prioritize and say, this is my priority. This is my secondary one. This is my tertiary one. You also want to set your short, medium, and long-term goals. So even these different revenue streams that I went through with our client, we didn't launch everything at the same time. All of this was actually a 2-year process. You understand? So you'll have your short-term goal, you will launch one thing. Then you'll have your medium-term goal, maybe you'll launch the next thing in 6 months once you're comfortable with this one. So in as much as we've got lots of ideas and they're exciting, it's important for us to categorize those ideas so that we don't have many balls in the air, we don't end up being overwhelmed and stretching ourselves thin, where we reach a point where we're not actually getting value from any of those things at all. So that prioritization is very important. All right, I think we can take our last question from this segment. Can we have our roaming mic?
Hello everyone.
Hi.
My name is Kogeto Makatu, founder and creative director at Republican Arc.
Okay.
We make bespoke jeans.
Nice.
Customized bespoke jeans. So I would like you to zero in on the importance of patient building, because most entrepreneurs, we have these big visions, but at the very same time, you'd find that penetrating into a market can discourage you because of certain red tapes. How important is patient building? And again, how important is mental health as an entrepreneur? Thank you.
All right. Your patience is critical. Critical as an entrepreneur. Because the truth is, we come up with these amazing ideas and we think they're going to come into fruition overnight, and they don't. I remember myself when I began building the brand of Hetty the Entrepreneur, I knew that I have knowledge to share and I want to use social media to share it, but nobody else knows that I've got this knowledge. Nobody else knows, why should they even care or listen to me? So I had to have the patience to say, I'm going to invest in building and pouring into and building my community. So I remember doing an Instagram live every single Wednesday for a year, just to build my audience, not even making R1. At the time, you look crazy. People are like, yo, what is this person doing? But you know that you are pouring into and investing in something, so that at the end of that year, when you start to monetize, when you start to advertise products and services, you have poured so much into your audience that you are now able to reap. The problem is that we are in such a hurry that we want to reap where we have not sown. So it is very important that this is a long-term goal, and we have to be able to play the patient game. Mental health is a huge part of entrepreneurship, and I think it's a conversation we don't have enough of. I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs who will say, yo, I'm feeling blue, I'm feeling, we don't always have the words to articulate what we are going through. But it is something that we definitely need to be able to normalize, because we do go through a lot. And because we are living in a time of social media where people are showing the highlight reel, we often compare ourselves to those people when in actual fact a lot of people are going through the most as well. So finding avenues where we can get support is important. All right, I think that's going to bring me to the end of this masterclass, and I'm going to hand over to Papa. Thank you, everybody.